Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Develchiku Amuli Okolo. I know you enjoyed that intro because I definitely did, and shout out to John for putting that together. Basically, I know you've seen from the title, Pinch Me, I'm Dreaming. I really wish it was a joke. I really wish I was dreaming, but no, it's reality. And that is what we're starting off with. My content as a YouTuber will be a faith-based channel for 20 plus years old. So that's from 20 to 29. So before I move forward, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I know this is a very sensitive topic, and different people have different opinions for how they could have handled it or what they could have done differently. And I respect that, definitely respect it. But at the same time, I want to ask that everyone respects my decision or how I handled it, because I did things according to what the Lord asked me to do. It was a very hard time, a very, very hard time of mine. So I don't want to see in the comment section like, oh, you should have done this. Oh, you should have done this. Trust me, I tried setting other things. So I would really appreciate for, that respect. Thank you. Then my second thing is for my friends, for my family, for my loved ones that I actually did not tell this. Basically, what I said was, I haven't heard back yet, which in all reality, I still haven't heard back yet. That's in respect to return offers and full time. I still haven't heard back, but that was just a way of letting you guys know that I haven't heard back, but I couldn't tell the reason just yet because I wasn't led to. So, with that being said, let's go straight into the story time. So, August 9, 2023, I was on the golf course, and on that fateful morning, I received a calendar invite from my manager at that time. When I did, I opened it and I saw that he put a meeting invite for 12 o'clock that same day. Firstly, my manager would never set a meeting for the same day. And the second thing was not during lunchtime. So being on the golf course, I was like, okay, I need to go back home and get ready for that meeting. But the name of the meeting basically said investigation outcome. So now let's take it a little bit back. What really happened? During my time at Microsoft, some colleagues of mine wanted to play a prank and basically show a way of welcome back, like a very big boss of ours. And he just got married recently, so I was aware that the first time they put sticky notes on his desk, but the second time, like, okay, let's just go say hi. He wasn't at his office and decided to, put sticky notes like, oh, happy married life, basically telling him congratulations. And then I stood out at the entrance of the office while they went in to, put the sticky notes, and we laughed, and then we left it at that. Few weeks later, security reached out to them and then asked questions of what they put on the sticky notes and why they did that, all of that. So their faces were found on the CCTV camera, but I was at the exit of the place it happened. I'll say the entrance of where it happened. So I took a Snapchat video laughing like, look at them, because it was all a prank. So when security reached out to them, I knew it was serious. I was just like, oh, I have a video to show. It was nothing serious. We're all just laughing. No prank. It was a prank whatsoever. Then security reached out to me because they mentioned my name, and I didn't think it was a big deal. So I sent the video to security just to show like, okay, they really didn't mean any harm. So fast forward all the way to to this investigation part where my manager then reached out to me. So I got on this call around 12 o'clock, and my manager was on call with an HR personnel, and basically they said my internship was terminated because I violated 3 things in the workplace, which was trust. I remember the first one was trust in the workplace, and I asked the question, what do you mean by trust? Because I didn't write what was in the sticky notes, as well as it was a prank, so as well as it wasn't meant to make anyone scared, so I didn't understand how I broke trust. But After that, it basically said that was my last day. I had to return my devices and all of that. So now that I've given that story, I think it was just crazy what my response afterwards was actually. I called some of my mentors and told them what happened just to try and see what alternative might be there, because my world, I felt, was about to go crazy. Mind you, I was a two-time intern. I had done so many things that internship, hosting a big intern events, and people are like, you're going to get a return offer for sure. So all of that, my whole life, I was already planning, okay, I'll stay here and here for this number of years and then go back to school. So many of those plans were around Microsoft. But after I closed my laptop and I saw that nothing was going anywhere, I called my friends, told them what was going on. I think I had 5 of my friends on 5 different devices, and I'm really thankful for community because I didn't process it, but my response was, I'm about to start packing and leave Seattle and go back to school. Like, I wish I was crying. I wish I could tell you guys that I was actually crying, but no, there were no tears. I'm going to insert a video of my reaction and basically how I looked. Then that night, I know the enemy really wanted me to be stuck in one corner, actually crying and wailing. But no, what did I do? I put on praise music and I blasted it and I was dancing. If you know where in the Bible it says David danced like a madman, that was me. And I couldn't even understand why I was even reacting that way. Trust me, it wasn't me. It was from the Lord, because I just felt joy. I felt joy from within. I don't think I processed it enough at that point, but I wasn't crying. I wasn't sad. That's all that mattered at that point. So when it really hit me was the next day when I woke up and I was like, oh, wait. Oh, I'm not going to the office today. I'm at home. That's when it really hits me. And I remember praying one prayer that day saying, Lord, I know you have something better in store for me. Call it a cow. And right now, I want a chicken, which is, of course, smaller than the cow. And I was like, Lord, I know you have something better, but chicken actually is what I want right now. And today, I just really thank God that all of that prayer, the Lord did not use it against me, because we really don't know the power we have in our words. Anyways, fast forward, I eventually rebooked my flight to leave Seattle that weekend, and I left Seattle on the 12th. I got back to school, and I was really happy to be back in school, really happy to be around my friends, and happy to be around my community here at Fisk. When it all happened, I knew that I had to tell my mom, and that was the next day. So before going forward to tell my mom, I started reminding myself of the fact that the destroyer needs permission to do anything. And if you saw in that video, I said I'm really excited to see what the Lord is going to do out of all of this that has happened. And I think it was crazy to me that that was my response, because I wasn't looking at what it was at the moment. Yes, it hurt. I cannot stand here. I cannot sit here and tell you it didn't hurt. It did hurt a lot. But I knew that, just like in the story of Job, I know a lot of people talk about the story of Job, but in all reality, just like in the story of Job, the devil had to go to the Lord to ask for permission before he could do anything. And I just felt like my life at that point had been so smooth. Of course, there were challenges, but nothing as big as this for about the past 2 years. So I knew that, okay, for the devil to even find me, then I'm doing something right. Yes, I'm doing something right. And I just saw it as a privilege to actually go through the trial. And that was what I was trying to change the posture of my heart to look like. But when I got back to school, it became hard. Because everywhere I went to as a senior, what are your next plans? What do you plan on doing next? Are you going to grad school? Are you going to job? Are you going to work? So many questions, left, right. And I started feeling suffocated because I knew the promise of the Lord. I knew that the Lord had something good in store. But having to answer all of those questions every single time started making me feel started making me feel like I wanted God to respond to me early, or earlier than whenever his own timeline was. At that point, I had an interview with a company scheduled the next week. And the next week, I didn't think I was at my best, for real. I didn't think I was at my best, but I went into that interview. It was a mess because the internet cut off, and I was just there like, okay, there is nothing coming out of this. But 3 days afterwards, they followed up and told me I made it to the final round. On making it to the final round, of course, my family members are like, oh, this is God's will. This is what the Lord wants for you. But I remember through all of that, my prayer was never, God, give me this offer. It was, God, let your will be done. And honestly, let me just enjoy the interview because it was a lot of pressure. Sleeping every night and applying to companies, going on Handshake, going on Glassdoor. And don't forget the fact that I'm an international student, so sponsorship was a really key factor to a lot of things that were at play. So I eventually went for the final round of this interview, but I just knew in my spirit that it's too early for this whole thing to be over. And when I felt that, I knew that I wasn't getting that offer, or even if I got the offer, that was not where I was going. So eventually, after my interview, God answered my prayer. I completely enjoyed those 3 interviews. And then they called me and told me that they couldn't extend an offer because of a reason. Now, why I knew it was God at play was because the reason they gave me wasn't about my skill. It wasn't about my interview. It was more about something I could have extended or even gotten better at when I start working. So for them to have expected me to be good at it before I start working, it didn't make sense to me. Anyways, I didn't get that offer, and I was just like, okay, Lord, I see you. I definitely see you. So through all of that, I became more firm in my affirmations of the Lord has something good for me. The Lord has something planned for me, and I'm going to stand on this promise. I'm going to stand on the fact that he can't give me more than I can handle, and that's the truth. And I think for a lot of Christians, when we go through trials, when we go through tribulations, it's like, Lord, you're not hearing me anymore. Lord, you're not close to me. What is all of this about? And me seeing it as a privilege to go through all of that, when I know that a lot of people probably expected me to commit suicide or run crazy and all of that, but that wasn't my response. I knew it was still the grace of the Lord that was sufficient to carry me through all of that. A final thing before I actually end this first series. So this is a 3 series video. This is a 3 series video, and this is the first part. There are going to be 2 other parts that I'll release as time goes on. But at this stage where I got the message about the termination, and basically, oh wow, my whole life depended around this, and just feeling anxious at certain points, it was just a reminder that the Lord is with me. And when he says he is with me, he really is with me. So I just want to encourage anyone that is going through something right now and they feel like the Lord is far away from them, or how could the Lord allow this happen to me for something that I've made plans? Because the verse that also talks about we make plans, but the Lord's plans prevail. I had to sink through all of that. I had to let all of that get into me as a person before I could, wake up every morning and go on campus smiling around like nothing happened, and also having direction of not telling everyone what happened to me, because I didn't want it to be my identity. I didn't want it to be something that people saw me around and felt pity for me. But yes, it happened, and I knew that the Lord was going to do something great out of it. Hopefully, you guys stay enjoying on this ride and be expectant for what is to come. I know I'm new on YouTube, but I'm here for a reason, and I really do hope this has impacted your life and there is more to come. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep living your best life with God at the center of it all. Bye bye.
Ah, I really wish this was a joke, but it's not a joke. It really is not a joke. It is what it is, and like I'm grateful to God for the peace I feel now. Cause yes, tears will come. Yes, I will cry, but it's still that assurance that if God lets it happen, He has a plan for me. Like even as I'm saying it there, I'm like, is this me? It is me, oh. But if God really let this happen, He has a mightier, better, like He has a plan. I don't know if He must come back to Microsoft because I was literally already planning my whole life, Welcome to Seattle. I'm about to listen to praise, continue what I'm doing, just continue packing and